Okay. This is from January 2nd. So I guess I have a day left. Yeah, I guess I do. This one's long. This one's 53 bullet points. So like, strap in. So this is where I saw Lindsey falling back into a bathtub. Like, she had her clothes on. So I think she's baptizing herself or turning towards Christ. I felt I was a little unhappy that I don't know when all this is going to happen. But I say the light of heaven. But I saw the light of heaven come down like a needle on the record, and I knew the needle of heaven is on the record that moves through time. And then I looked again, my gift of prophecy kicking in, and I saw that it was moving towards Austin. So that's not bad. And it occurs to me that it's me getting through these dreams and working through ministry that's moving the road along underneath me. So yeah, records, how I talk and speak, gift of prophecy. So like I'm pinpointing the light of heaven into like a specific spot and then reading it out loud, like transcribing it for you guys. So it's very much like that process. So if I want to see her, I have to move this process, not just try and wait to a specific date. Okay, just had a dream where I was starting to see around the corner, but there were still lots of dots to connect. Yeah, I think in that dream there was like 4 by 10, so like there's still a process left. Seeing Lindsey or someone on the other side. Okay, so this one was interesting. I was where like the crown jewels were in London, and so there's this crown there, and I see this woman pushing her head through. I think this is her like coming through the looking glass, and then she got halfway there and she was like unrecognizable, and her head stopped like underneath this crown, and I was like, oh, that has to be her. And it was just this wonderful picture. It was like this black crown. It looked so awesome, and she was like, mwah, and it was like bending her shoulders. Like, also you might say maybe she's being born again. Weird dream, family reunion. This was interesting. No one really cared about me. I fell over and jumped next to my cousin. But they didn't know I was a superhero. It was a big event. And my cousin said, can you leave me alone? And I had another dream where my other friend was mad. And so I think the way I'm praying for heaven to meet them is all wrong. I've been praying for them to be turned towards God, and now I'm starting to pray for them to be shown God's love, mercy, generosity. Because I think they've suffered too much in their life that they need to be shown God's generosity, not that it gives you a good might to turn towards Him. I had this dream where I had like a ceremony. I don't know if it was a wedding. I fell next to my friend and she said it wasn't funny and she got mad at me. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I got back. I said Dalton's, and then I had someone else's keys. I see myself standing up there floating behind me as heaven. I saw the keys. So maybe I'm trying to find the keys to their heart to bring them to God in a heavenly way. Bouncing myself, jump from building to building, from roof to roof, big old section. And I wrote, but I'm not like Superman. And then I saw Sonic jumping. And I just wrote, I'm a mighty man now, though I am a Superman, a character. So yeah, I guess I'm just in full stride now, we could probably say. Just like one of my comic book characters or one of my cartoon heroes. Finally caught up, man. I did like 15 hours of this yesterday. It was amazing. It was really great. My roommate couldn't believe I like sat in this chair for that many hours, but it's been a lot of fun. There was this chunky handicapped guy, and he was old. He was short and kind of old. And I was like, all right, let's just carry him up the stairs to the top of the building. And he was kind of a cranky little shit. But he had a heart of gold, and he just didn't have anyone to help him. So he was cranky, but went along with it. So I was wondering if I was carrying my burdens up to the top. Like the part of me that was lethargic and suffering. The part of me that handled all the suffering and all the worries. And so the part of me that's spry and humble and strong is like doing the heavy lifting. And then the part of me that's suffering hopes and expects to be helped out. And then I remember the Bible verse, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart. Now that's important. God is saying, I am humble and gentle at heart. And a lot of us don't know that. We need to know that. That's a very important thing for God to tell us. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, you will find rest for your souls. For the yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. So no matter who you are, that is some wonderful poetry there. I like to nurse my drinks. I'm sorry. And this one's a long one. We're only on number 11. There's like structure or something that fell and didn't hit anybody, but it was a theater to it. Like we were into like a fan of the upper theater, and I think his name is Speed. He was there, and he was like, whoa, this is real, like amazing. Like, whoa, like everyone was starting to get it. And I saw this guy, his name was Speed, he's a streamer, and he was on Mr. Beast. And I looked at him, and my gift of discernment started tingling, and I was like, oh, he wants to work with us. I think I need to take another allergy med. So yeah, I'm going to start praying about him. He seems like a legit guy. Okay. And then the dwarf from Game of Thrones, I saw him sitting in this barn, but it was like a theater. He woke up there. I need to get faster on these because they're getting here and out before I can record them. I think that's when I was fasting. My dreams were coming so fast that like I couldn't lock them down. I think maybe we hire him. I have this idea to do sketch comedy with dwarves, so we'll see. I think it'd be really cool. All dwarves and one normal-sized person. So I'm going to call it probably 7 dwarves and 1 human. I don't know. They had come from really far away. They came out of trajectory, so I don't know how that was. There's some young boy, early teens, and he was feeling like, whoa. And someone had to back up some girl, and she had to run, jump off the springboard. So we're at like a circus now, and then they collide and catch him. And she's like, this is nuts. I think it was that pretty entrepreneur girl. So I think there's this billionaire girl that runs a YouTube channel, and I want to hire her to help me run this circus, or at least comment on it. So the idea so I have an idea for the ministry that's like a base, like a campus. We do the animation, we do the podcast, we do the sketch comedy, and then a circus that just brings entertainment and joy and prayer and heaven around the world. So I was thinking it'd be fun to run circuses for every country. A man in a blue suit. There's a blue background, like a sky blue. Something close to the suit, close to the sky blue. Oh, so the color of the suit and the sky were similar. A little bit of purple. So like a light color of life and light. He turned his head and bent down to catch my attention and get me unstuck. Then he was saying something like, ladies and gentlemen, we have, I don't remember what he said, but it seemed really cool. Some theater wear good SNL thing. Yeah, so it was a ringmaster for my circus. And I wrote, guess I'm twice as productive as I thought, because I never thought I'd get that circus off the ground. But I guess I'm good at hiring people to run people. I go, I think people are watching this from the future. The man, he wanted me to be involved too, so he was telling his daughter, like, hey, I know that you make fun of me later, so, you know, do it around here. Actually, don't do it at all. And I think he was just loving. I think that's me and my daughter. He was like loving and good and genuine, even a good guy. I think I see my adopted daughter at like 17 or something. I'm seeing the evolution of my SNL type show. There's a girl in a black dress, kind of like a wedding. I think that's my friend from work. Maybe she uses my campus to get married at. I'd certainly let her. Oh, maybe I make a wedding venue here. Probably not fair to you guys that I keep stopping to take drinks, but I've been doing this for like, oh my God, I've been doing this for so long. I've been doing this since midnight. Dear God. I've been doing this for like 8 hours. A girl was sitting across the couch from someone. How did we get there? Something to do with number 6 team. Number 6 team. I think that's what we call ourselves, the number 6 team, because there's 6 of us. So I think we're all just sitting around as a family. There's a joke from Billy Crystal, and it goes, my dog can't stand me. And he's like sad, but he's also there. I was just thinking about the SNL movie. It's kind of interesting. The SNL movie was actually pretty good. I liked it. Weird in the last, my boss was mean to me, and I was like, I'm gonna have to talk to her later. I think I trip over porn, so I have to be careful. It says that she was mad because I drank an energy drink on the way to Austin, and I don't drink those anymore because for whatever reason they make me want to. My zipper's stuck on this side pocket. It throws me into a bad headspace where I start to hunt down pornography, so I've stopped drinking them. Let's see. I feel like there is more to that dream than just waiting. I was working, but the facility was shutting down. So I think I'm getting ready to change facilities. Because it looks like that's shutting down for me. That period of my life is shutting down. And then I remember this hill from local to this church, and so we're back at that grassy knoll hill again. We're seeing that. So all these timelines are starting to meet up at the same heavenly location. Inside, cleaning it all out, shutting down this part of my mind, probably. Oh, I don't want to put the phone down to get the zipper shut. I saw this kind of chip bowl that looked like a whole bunch of paints. Paints. It was interesting. Next stage of development. So we're getting the paints ready. So the next stage of development is starting. I saw Lindsey on a tour bus, and she was reaching something that was like a breath of fish. I think it was a part of me I hadn't given to anyone yet, because it was a breath of air. So it was like a breath of me that she was reaching out to touch me spiritually. Then I had this dream that this like fabric unwound, and I had to like stitch it back together, and it was like this twirl, this like vortex. And so I think I successfully crafted something with heaven. So that was cool. How much of reaching down? It was not a trailer house. So these are like kind of like homes that they'll deliver, like pre-made homes, and then sometimes you want a bigger one and they'll put 2 together. I saw something like that. The 2 connected together, so probably me and Lindsey, or me and this future heaven merging together and creating one location. Then I was squatting down to lift it up. So I was like using my spiritual might to like lock it into place. I see the left side of my mind relaxing. I don't know what else now. I've lost the thought. So I guess I've caught up and done everything I can do for now, which makes sense because I have 1 day of dream left. because I'm not going to do the dreams I did today, because today's not over. Like if I fall asleep before midnight, I'll get dreams. A shoebox, and it was actually a case for an action figure. We're opening it up and about to bring the action figure out. We're finally breaking it open. Oh, the action figure, because there was an action figure in the beginning, and that was the 9 different potential wives I could choose from. So we're opening up this secret treasure, and we're breaking out the action figure. So she should be out and about now. A big, like, flower pots. And when I think of flower pots, I think about clay pots. And a clay pot is supposed to be like our souls, like the jars to hold spiritual water. And God said, I can make these be however I want because I made them in the first place. Oh, okay. It was white and blue. It was very beautiful. And she was holding it over her head. Like she wasn't going to break it, but she was angry and frustrated spiritually. It was probably a lot of work and focus to get her here. And to her eyes, it might look like it didn't happen at all for Christmas. And so she's angry about that. So she's probably ready to receive her gifts. So I'm definitely ready to give them to her. I'm ready to give her all 9 and then the 3 from the Old Testament. So Lindsey, whenever you're ready, just find me. I saw myself in this bright light blue shirt, white pants, and my hair was blonde, and I was clean shaven, full of life and light. So this, I just shaved, and my hair's, oh man, my hair's like, this is all over the place. That's funny. Saw myself, just made the decision to give the full amount of gifts as well as the wealth. I've grown them to, this looks to be, oh, I got the pocket shut. Oh, I got it mostly shut. So this is a reflection of that. Superpowered King Joshua Charming is here at your service. Am I a Super Saiyan? Nope, but it's like, but still cool nonetheless. So me looking at these little puppies, they can all fit on my palm, lovingly playful around, and there's this square patch of cloth. It was white, so it was like cloth for spirit stitching. And it reminded me of this old cartoon I used to like. I went and looked it up. It's Pokey the Little Puppy and the Patchwork Blanket. So you should look that up on YouTube. It's very nice. It's a cute little animated short that I love. It like helped shape me as a man. He had a favorite blanket and he would take it outside even though he wasn't supposed to, this little puppy, and it would tear on everything. And then his mom patched it up, but then he did it the next day and he just had a little square patch left and he was really sad, but all of his friends each gave him a patch of their blanket. So he had this patchwork blanket because of people sharing. So it taught me to share. It taught me to be sad. It taught me to love. It taught me to sacrifice for love and be giving for love and to be wise and smart if you want to keep the things that are precious to you. So I guess it's like, this is like a little patch of cloth that I have made to share with everybody. So everyone knows they can make their dreams come true. This is how you make your dreams come true. This is what you can expect. Sometimes the timing is less than we want, but if we stick it out, the rewards are 10 to 100 times what we thought. So it's worth the headache and the suffering to get what you want, even though you might look like a fool for a little bit. Because I told everyone Christmas. So, and we're well beyond that now. Martial artists who like to fall on those top poles, the like the telephone poles type things, like they're like, I think they did that in Ip Man. There's like poles you'd like jump from. I was extreme biking with like a mountain bike across them. Like I looked up and I was like, "Mrah," like this bike went by. I looked happy. My skill and expertise is such that I can extreme mountain bike and across without problem. So I've learned how to move quickly and efficiently and across absurd types of terrain. And I wrote, that's cool and generous of God to have heaven tell me such a thing. Okay. Why did we dream about this? I looked over at myself and my iPad. Oh yeah, I wrote, why did I have a dream about this? I looked over myself and put my iPad down. I don't get it. I think I finally caught up with all my backlog at work. And that makes sense because I have one more day, which is the 3rd, which is yesterday. And then I'll be caught up with my backlog. I was deconstructing this building made out of Legos. No, I was constructing this building made out of Legos, and I looked at my hand, and I had these small pieces left. So I think that's like the finishing touches, the small touches. Black and gray and white pieces. So I'm already done. I'm just putting some pieces left, some finishing touches. And then I wrote, also my stomach hurts from cold water. Oh, yeah. And I remember what my pastor said 25 years ago when I was fasting, even though God didn't tell me to fast. He said, here, drink some warm water. So it was his prophecies that got me to stop fasting. He said, like, I have fasted several times. If you've done a 40-day fast, you shouldn't fast unless God tells or asks you to. Okay. And that's not like for everyone. He was telling me that because I already put a lot of hours into spirituality. My problem isn't working. I'm kind of like Peter, where my problem is I have to be reined in. Like, Josh, you're doing too much. Chill out. Chill out, Josh. Like, oh, sorry. This one's long. Someplace in the mountains, I was there with someone kind of like Lily. I think it might have been my daughter. I had this magic ring that was given to someone for me. So I think... So in the Bible, there's like a ring that Joseph is given by the Pharaoh, and it just kind of gives him blanket authority. Like when you tell someone to do something, it'll be as if I told you to. Because Joseph was like a man of honor and a man of extreme competency, and he was a prophet. So I'm all those things. And so I think a lot of places are going to allow me to do stuff. And I might give people a paladin ring, which will suggest the same thing. It showed me I could do anything, and I was doing a lot of stuff. Even though I didn't have a lot of money, it let me do anything. We met Tomi Arayomi, that prophet I like from Nigeria, and asked him about a word of knowledge, and he said it was awesome and it was growing. So I think that's my daughter. I think she has like a massive, I think the word of knowledge is like immense in her. There's someone with Tomi who's also black working with him. And I know Tomi has a twin, so that doesn't surprise me. And then there was someone in a forest, some voodoo doctor that was after him, and he like hissed at me when I got too close. The girl that was with me pulled me back so I wouldn't get caught up into that shrub. I was going to drop her off with her mom. And it reminded me of the Snowman movie where they're like flying around. So I think we're just having a spiritual moment together. I think I'm meeting some sort of production team because they were painting and show her the paint. So maybe my daughter's in charge of something. I don't have a lot of time left, so that might be these dreams here. Because I don't think it was me dying. Because I think there's a prophecy where I live to be 100. So I think not having a lot of time left is like here to Lindsey or here to like starting construction. I remember I was going to take her out and use the ring, and I would squeeze it, and I'd call for my car to come. My car was huge, like a big black monster truck. So maybe I have a driver, and he drives that truck. I wonder if it's Dalton, because it looked like his truck once. Maybe Dalton's my driver. I'd be okay with that. It was coming, and it was going back in, but it didn't fit. So it didn't fit into the driveway. Went the wrong way. I was calling back in. Instead, we just called a flight. So while we were waiting, we went around the neighborhood, around the street, and I went to this one place to do a painting and got most of it done. It's kind of beautiful. So I think this is now. I think that was Dalton from the future, and I think since I'm done, I'm going to work on a painting. Because I'm just winding down and just by myself. The flying guy arrived to fly us to some dinner. So me in the future, after I meet Lindsey, flies the now me. So the me that's working hard is going to meet the me who is in love. I was holding on to something. I was in heaven. I can move. I could move through the walls. I was holding myself, but no, it was actually God who was holding me. I remember Jack and Megan, they have a YouTube channel. I think Jack and I would be good friends, and I think they both want to work in ministry. I was talking to them. Megan found it interesting. I think maybe I healed her ADHD. Moved through walls. Maybe Megan's responding spiritually, and Jack isn't yet. So I was asking myself, I was a little afraid, I was moving through walls, and I heard God say, I could show you, and he said, like, there's a big wall between it, and I was like, no, because I wanted to see what hell looked like, with the lake of fire. I was like, you sure we can go through the wall? I was talking to her about heaven. We're in this high place above it all. I think it was me and Lindsey. I think we get a hotel room on the top to overlook the city in Atlanta. I don't understand why I was talking to Megan so much. I guess she just was absorbing it from new to Christianity, maybe. I think she was just fascinating. Like, she didn't really know, but I think Jack understood easier. So I was back in this cul-de-sac where my buddy Doug used to live, and Doug means deep thought, and Lindsey called me that one, so it's basically back home, maybe. The painting was done. Okay, so that's, I guess, this weekend. I wanted some dinner, so he flew. I was also talking to myself, and I think I drink something. I let her use the do anything ring, and then I think I had one for my friend Brad. So I guess it's like authority, like they can act upon the authority I've cultivated. There's this part where these feathers are coming down from heaven, so that's very interesting. So the angels are flying overhead from this upper stage. And then there are people flying over holding a feather, and someone is like, whoa, how do they do that? And then I think we leave while they're distracted, while someone is distracted looking over there. I feel like there's a guy who had a crush on Lindsey who's like not letting it go. Is that me, maybe? I guess I could let it go. Maybe it was just a dream. Okay. I'm assuming because she's in, I can't see her right now, the box. I took the ring back. I had the ring, the do anything ring, so the authorities, and I kept it possessed within me so I could do anything. I use it in the future. I think that's everything. I think if there's anything else. Is there anything else? Once we took flight over ground, I think that's it. So I think the time of her playing with my anointing is over. And now we have to get on with her plans. Maybe she's seeing me in the distance, the guy who really likes her. No, the guy was really short. Maybe she comes over dressed kind of tomboyish. Huh. Okay, so this is kind of like a part two, because I think my arm's tired. It's been like 30 minutes. So yesterday I went to use the restroom and then I could think better. Football player was looking up at the sky. I think you could sense us. They're flying by. Yeah, I think that was Speed from Mr. Beast. I think he really wants to join us in ministry. I really did feel like that snowman animated short. Squeezing the ring and flying. It doesn't feel like Lindsey. It might be Lily. Or maybe my second daughter, or maybe someone new. Or maybe it's different seeing Lily and Lindsey in real life. I don't know. This one will probably be in the future. And I had her wear it on her middle finger on her right hand so people wouldn't think she's married. I think it might be like a paladin ring. It's a special gift. Now that I have the money, I'm calling everyone who's flying in. So I think all of my people I've given gifts to are flying in. That's why they look like angels. Oh, there we go. My people look like angels and they're all flying in. So I'm bringing them all to Texas where we're going to work together and spread Christianity probably through Texas and then the nation and then the nations and then the future and then the other planets. Show the truck that's coming in. It comes in by itself. It's impressive. I called the second by the end of the day. Don't know why I need two trucks. Jack was down the road. Megan wasn't. So maybe Megan's just hearing about me first. Part of the church. There's a church for the nation. I'm running out of time to be alone and unconstructive. That was the paint. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Our flight got here when we went back to meet them. I was saying, how do we do this? It's beyond imagination. Oh, people are saying that. So we're bringing dreaming back. So everyone's going to see this come true, and we're going to bring dreams back to the nation because they're going to be like, whoa, this actually worked. This actually happened. You prophesied so much. Da 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 da. So it's like the wind-up and the pitch, and bam, it's out of the park. So me giving people this stuff is like them having those little spiky balls. They're called burrs, like under your saddle. Or they call them sticker burrs. So it's going to drive everyone to move. Everyone's going to be like, I can't deny this. I have to go do something. I have to be part of Christ. I have to like be a part of this church. I have to try. Everyone's like, this guy's flying around. I was watching a movie or something, and before the credits were up, we ducked out. So I think maybe Lindsey and I go watch a movie about this. We watch our movie, and then we duck out before the credits hit. They realize we're in the theater. And even right now, I'm kind of like narrating, and I'm like, my imagination starts to go, and I rein it back in, and there was this stuffed animal at someone's feet. Like a lot of stuffed animals. So I think instead of throwing me flowers, they throw me stuffed animals because I can give them to charity. So that's not bad. What's the other thing? In Aragon, some people could do some magic, but I could do it forever. And then where did it go from there? I don't remember. The big moment, I forgot it. People wanted to do some things, but I saw this huge archway, like that arch. I forget what it's called in that. It was like a gateway or like a portal or like a door, but it was just an arch, like in the sky, like this huge arch, like between 400 and 4,000 feet tall. It might have been 40,000 feet tall. This thing was gigantic. And that's a good number to have because that's 10 times 10 times 10. So not only is that a process, that's a God's process. That's an exponential process. 4 means there was suffering. Like it wasn't like a fun process. Everyone was thinking they could do a little bit of magic. Everyone was thinking that they could do a little magic. And I said, no, I can use God's willpower all I want forever and ever. Don't tell me there is no God. And I was seeing that voodoo man from earlier, from Tomi Ariyomi, and then suddenly I saw something plug in. I think I plugged him into Christ. I tried praying against his evil nature, but I don't think he was evil. I don't think he knew it was evil, and I think he came into voodoo not for evil, but because of fear. So I started praying for his healing and for him to meet Jesus, because I felt this barrier that I couldn't easily defeat, and I felt that if I did defeat him, I would be in a more sorry state than he was now. So like, the man has known so much abuse and violence and turmoil that you don't want to beat him up. You want to show him love and mercy so he can break down, become gentle-spirited, and then re-engage with reality. Yeah, so I tried to pray for confrontation and gentleness and generosity, and it seemed to have worked. I saw someone's mind, reminded me of like a TV dinner. It was really interesting. So it might have been that voodoo guy just like sitting quietly in his own mind now. And it's a little disheveled, like a old motel, but it's like, there's good light, there's gentle tones, there's softness. Everything's covered with like rug. So there's probably no like dirt floor, concrete floor. I think heaven is telling the voodoo guy, I think heaven is telling the voodoo guy that I'm just a resource manager. I just move things around like a board game or like a designer. So he knows that like I'm not a threat. I'm not trying to like attack him. I'm just somebody who like moves things around. And he's like, oh, okay, I don't need to worry about this guy. And heaven's like, yeah. So I think Lily, so it might have been Lindsey, might have been my daughters. It was dark, I couldn't see her. Flying around would mean we're both using the gifts, the powers. Oh, flying around like a superhero, but also angelic. Okay, like godly people. I got too close to the voodoo guy, and she's like, no, let's move away. Let's see. Glass doors, glass panels. I think there were like servers behind him. I remember that. But it was like resources that I think... my tongue stepping in that, I could send them places, send them through the ages. I could send resources around the world. So I think there's like this is like a heavenly server room. So I have access to all this digital content that I can move around and bring other areas riches, right? So I could probably do transactions digitally. So I probably do a lot of it digitally. A lot of open space, protected by these like bulletproof glass windows so they can't be easily attacked. Keyboard in my room, I don't know why. Like a piano keyboard? I guess I'm moving on to music now. I saw myself with a big puzzle on the table in the game room, big pieces. It didn't look like it'd be hard, but it'd definitely be big. I think I'm about to put the whole picture together. So for my campus, I'm going to take all little pieces I've designed and make one big campus. So there was like a parachuter, and he was like in white garb. So I think the Holy Spirit is going to drop down, and it'll happen all at once. We're still only at 47 out of like 52. There's my pen. There's this cross that we're building like out of wood. And what's interesting is I connect the bottom to the left with like a little piece of wood, so it also looks like a kite. And so we fly it up as high as we can to signal people, this is where we are, like come here and seek help. But it's also like the bat signal, like it's sending out to people that we're at work, that things are happening, that you can have faith, you can humbly trust yourself to have faith again. What else did I write? Come and see what's going on, walk in the authority of God, and everyone's going to be amazed, and they're going to kneel before God because they're going to think this is true religion. I saw a bottle of milk in the trash. Not that I'm trying to help. Well, I'm trying to help Lindsey clean it always, but I think she thinks part of her has spoiled, and so I like pull that out of the trash. And I'm like, no, it hasn't spoiled. Like, you need to relax and not throw away things that are good. I think she's worried she'll never get to be a mommy, and that's just not true. I was inviting this guy to have dinner with us. And he was like the head of the household. And I was like, good, because that means we're playing. You can take the fire first as a range GPS as much as you want without taking. Oh, yeah. So I was saying in spiritual warfare, you can fire first, right? Because the villains usually save the big, huge monster weapon for last. And I was like, no, if you have a big, huge monster weapon, you can fire it first, fire it often, fire as much as you want. Use your discernment. Some people do spiritual stuff and they get more and more fatigued, but as you do it, you will stay the same amount of not fatigued. And it was like a family dinner table, and I think it was with Lindsey, and I think we were having dinner with President Trump. So that was interesting. I think it was just us two and him, but it might have also been his wife. Might have to pray for her to show up. Or maybe he just wanted a private moment with me to talk about gifts and stuff. Because I know he becomes a prophet, and I really want to be the guy to give him the gift of prophecy. There's a girl, and she was mysterious, and I was looking at the crown jewels. Yeah, I think I said that one. She was on the other side, and so her like shoulders bent back. So I think it was like being born again, because the way babies, like, they're kind of flexible as they come through the birth canal. And it was like shimmering, and then she was like underneath the crown. So yeah, born again. I didn't recognize her, which makes sense. She's going through a spiritual moment. Oh, and then I had this dream where this like meteor like hit the edge of our solar system, and then all of a sudden it like slingshotted back. It's going to pick up incredible speed, and we're going to see how this dream story ends. And then I said it's 9:39 right now, so that's 5 threes. That's 3 times 3, a 3, and a 3 times 3. And so that's 2 powers, right? Because when you can go 3 times 3 times 3, and that makes like a 3 times 3 is 3 to the power of 2. So you have 3 to the power of 2, 3, and 3 to the power of 2. So God is adding his power to this. And it's also like a meteor's like the rock, and it's slingshotted. So we have like the David stone again that kills giants. So a lot of might, a lot of symbolism here, a lot of gentle, genuine, like awesome heavens. Like, look at how I think about you. Look at how I feel about you. Look at the things we're going to do together. I saw 4 levels. This one continues forward like at a walking speed. And each level goes by faster than the one before. Time travels faster. So I have to learn to operate on 4 levels and with 4 speeds. So like, if Lindsey and I were to get married in 2 months, we'd have to make a lot of decisions very quickly. If we're planning on moving in together within 5, we have to make a lot of decisions very quickly. If we want to have kids, we have to make a lot of decisions quickly. And then I want to build a campus, and imagine she wants to tour, so we'd have to figure a lot of stuff out very quickly. So we have 4 things to do very fast, but that'd be fine. I mean, I don't get bored of anybody, and I imagine I won't get bored of my wife. Last one. Yeah, 43 minutes. I see a Christmas tree in the background. I'm playing with dice. At Dalton's, my roommates, it's a full Christmas tree. It's 8 feet tall. 8 is the number of Jubilee, so of like freedom. Like you let the indentured servants go free. It's decorated. Sitting at the floor is a baby, maybe a boy. So what is it called? Like there's a word for it when you create something. It's your intellectual child. But it might be kid number 2. And then I think God put on like a silver ornament, like a Christmas ornament. I saw the hand of God, and it wasn't like some kind of God out there. It was like my friend, my father, this man I love puts a silver ornament on you. And then I had like three small dreams. I don't remember them now. The point is, they were cool. Yeah, I love you guys. Remember to pray. Remember to tell the people you love that you love them. It's important. One more day to go through, and then I can rest and, I don't know, maybe work on some art or something, and we'll go from there.